This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey there, it's Brian, Sebastian, movie reviews and more. I'm kind of smiling because I'm kind of excited. No, I'm not kind of excited. I am I've been waiting for the show for a long time. It's because, one, Caren Glasser's on it, Amy Kaiserman's on it, Dustin is here, her husband is here, and even Nonstop is here. So
I'm always here.
Yes, Terri, I have to make fun of Terri because that's just us. She's like my sister in a way, so you didn't make fun of your sister? Here's the thing. If it's Giving Tuesday, we got to talk about it. So your favorite charity, I wanted to do Giving Tuesday every Tuesday for a whole year. I say we go with this. I don't care what your charity is. Mine is Dream Weaver Artist Ranch, St. Jude's Hospital. Whatever your charity is, give something. I don't care if it's $5 or $100 or whatever. Let's help those small businesses. Let's help those people that need it around the world. So besides that, this is Brian Sebastian on Movie Reviews and More, and iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon, Spotify, Apple TV, Roku, Worldwide TV Network, WomenOnTV.tv, iTunes 247 out of Franklin, Tennessee. And the special thing about today is it's gender empowerment. This is all about women. That's why we have two guys on the side of this young lady and the other two women over there. So Caren Glasser, take this away. Tell us who you are, where you're coming from, because I love Caren. I love that she said that. I think she's got 5 or 7 shows now because she'll probably have another one tomorrow.
Well, probably we're doing one right now as we're talking. My name is Caren Glasser. I am a producer and talk show host. I host 3 of my own shows, Caren Glasser Live. I do a show called Once Upon a Storytime. And my favorite right now is Uncorked. Yes, we drink. And but we tackle a lot of different topics. I have a co-host for that. But what I'm most proud about right now is I am working with a company called VitalC. It's sort of the antithesis to AARP. It really is about this living in the stage of growth and purpose and discovery. And I am producing a show for them called The Peak Stage. Great show. But on top of that, I'm the executive producer of a sports show, 2 health shows, a panel show called Reality Check. And there's a couple more in there somewhere. I'm not sure. I'm kind of like overwhelmed by all of these shows. But you know what? I'm very, very lucky. I get to do what I love. So there you go.
And we like the name Digital Diva. We like that I think you're over 2 million views counting because it's about the views, Caren, isn't it?
It is totally about the views. And if you don't have views, I figure why do this, right?
Exactly. So Teresa from Sebastian Marketing, good to see you on there. So Amy, happy birthday, first of all, to you. Congratulations on that.
Thank
you.
you.
Maybe Dustin will sing happy birthday to you. I don't know.
Oh, thank you so much.
So the thing about this, I've been telling everybody about your bubble huts. I don't care who they are. It's about getting that brand out there. Caren knows what it's like to expose those companies, those women, those authors, those sports figures, everybody about that. Let's talk about why your huts are important, being that inventor and that creator and that founder.
Okay. Well, my bubble huts, I believe, are important because I'm passionate about stargazing and about immersing ourselves within nature as much as we can, especially in this digital world. I mean, I live in a digital world just like the rest of us do, but we all need to detox from that world once in a while. Mm-hmm. But I like to have an ability to give people a place to go to just reconnect with themselves, reconnect with nature, reconnect with other people around them, and just let go, just relax. And so for me, bubble huts are, my gift in a way, or my way of giving back to mankind in order for them to also just to be at peace. I want everyone to be at peace and, tranquil and just, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I even go in my own bubble tents because I love at night watching the shooting stars. I will purposely go out in the middle of the night in my tent to see the stars. And so I just think it's a gift I can give to other people as well.
Beautiful.
See, I love that. And it's all about sharing those things like that. So, all right. So from Redondo Beach, California, it's the one and only Terri Marie, nonstop. It's good. I'm glad you came up to see me Sunday, finally.
Well, we have a lot of things going on this year. So, of course, I was going to come and see you and Jean. So, it was good. The weather is kind of icky today in Redondo Beach for those who are, out of state. It's been raining it's raining, which it doesn't rain, but we need the rain. So it's a good thing. And I was kind of thinking about the bubble huts. I think it would be really kind of cool to be in one of those in kind of a rainstorm.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah. So that's on our way to-do list is like to sit in one of those and like, I don't know, just actually an electrical storm would be really cool. I don't know.
Well, we'll have to make it happen.
Yeah. I love nature. I mean, I like to be outdoors and, but I like to be comfortable too.
Oh, me too.
All right. So here's the other thing about this. I've been wanting Dustin for a long time. She's been busy traveling and running, runway modeling and all things like this. But the fascinating thing about this, I saw her, I think it was 2017, 2018, she was singing. And I always say this, people forget, not only are you an actress, model, whatever, you have a wonderful voice. And it's one of those things where I want people to know more about that. Talk about how you guys got together, what's important, and then this guy over here, he's got his own CD, and so they surprised me with that. So I was really happy about that too.
Well, thank you so much for having us here. It's great to meet you digitally. And, one of the important things you said about women empowerment, it's men are also our allies. And Mehdi actually helped me refine my voice. I started off in musical theater when I was just a wee little girl, and, continued with getting my degree at Pepperdine in theater, did some off-Broadway Shakespeare and in TV and film, and then runway modeling out here. But it was until I met this musician, this very gifted and talented one, Mehdi M, that he would encourage me to just put some lyrics to this song and then sing to it. And before you knew it, we were making beautiful music together. But this is his album called Semillas, which means seeds in Spanish. And in
so it's hi, my name is Mehdi M. I'm a musician, director, and actor. And this is my first album. It's called Semillas, and I think it's hard to see with the light.
There you go.
And it's a flamenco world music album, and lots of great musicians on it. It's all acoustic. So when I met Dustin, I always write music, and I encouraged Dustin to sing, and I realized that she's a natural. She knows when to come in, when to start with the beat and everything. So we made some music, and there's a couple of music videos we have on YouTube. You could look him up under Dustin Quick or Mehdi M, which is different than my album. It's a little bit more house music / pop music, but there are two music videos on there, and you could hear Dustin saying on one of the songs. So that's how we started in music with Dustin.
But here's the other thing about this. So the whole thing about this, we were waiting for her schedule, and I wanted to surprise Caren with a couple of things because this was Caren's show. So I wanted to mix match a bunch of people. And I told Caren, I'm going to tell you who it is, and I actually cheated because I don't tell people who it is. And I wanted to have Amy on because Amy was scheduled because everybody's talking about her bubble huts. And yes, she's bringing them, I think it's a 12-footer you're bringing for February 10th for our event. So I wanted to have, I don't know, Amy, if you've had a model in it, but I wanted to have Dustin be the first one in your tent.
Okay.
And then I
That'd
wanted
be
to have
awesome.
Caren in there talking about it, and I wanted to have nonstop interviewing people. So that's why I'm centering everything around it. Everybody will get together, and we'll all end up in your huts.
Okay. Sounds good.
For some stargazing, huh?
Yeah.
And
So Brian, my actual, oh, sorry.
The one thing that's happened to Los Angeles, we never used to have mosquitoes, but then over like the last 5 years, they've become zombie mosquitoes, and they will not die like until like the rain. I think maybe we have a chance that you could actually sit outside and not like literally get welds up. Which, I mean, as a model, you can imagine like going down a runway looking like, you know, you've been lunch and dinner for some insect. It's not attractive. So I'm excited about the bubble hut just to kind of like get to enjoy nature, but not be eaten up by it.
Exactly. Honestly, that's why I love them, because I hate bugs. I mean, all of us ladies, I don't know any lady who doesn't like, hate the bugs. So it's about being bug free. I like them for bug free zones.
That's great.
Caren, go into this. When you started in your shows and now you're expanding, why is that important? Why is it when people go on, you just had vocally Tosh on, talk about Tosh being on your show and what happened with that?
It was, first of all, she's extremely talented. She is from Venezuela. She had, in the middle of a pandemic, she decided to launch her singing career. And so we brought her on the show, and the show in about 4 days, I think we garnered over 14,000 views.
Wow.
And it was amazing. I mean, we played her song. There was so much engagement, so much interaction, and so now she's up on Roku and Amazon Fire. And we just got launched on Spotify. Spotify now is doing a video platform, guys. How cool is that? You can do an audio and video all at the same time. So we're really excited about that. She is amazing. And I thank Brian for introducing me to her. I can't wait to see where she goes. She is going to be maybe the next, Shakira or that kind of thing. She's just so adorable and just has a great sound.
Talk about why people like your shows, because I went into your YouTube channel and I'm starting to share your old shows because you have some great interviews on it. Talk about that and how you got the other new one now.
So I started doing this years ago. Before doing this was a thing. I started doing interviews back in 2011, and we did them first on YouTube Hangouts, which was way back in the olden days. And then I was fortunate to go on Below Deck Mediterranean, the Bravo reality show. I was on the first season of that, and I had a chance to meet all of the cast, and of course, never to miss an opportunity. I invited each and every one of them, and several of them, they came on my show. Hannah Ferrier, who was the cruise director for many, many years. We became friends. She came on my show, and Brian, if you looked at that show just keeps accumulating views from 2016. And, so it's just a matter, you have to hit it. You got to hit it with somebody that first has influence, and second is willing to work with you to share. A lot of people come on and they don't know what to do. So, that's why it's important is to continually put it out there over and over again.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm talking about. I keep telling the girls, you can't share a show 3 times or 4 times. It's got to be 5, 7 times, and just keep doing it. And I told Caren the other day, I'm going to start sharing all her shows because she's got fascinating shows. And then she's doing more. And I think that's great. And that's how you get those up. I want everybody's views to go up, but not everybody thinks that way.
Right.
Karen's the only one that I know about that. So I think that's why I like her shows. And that's why
and one of the things that I do is I put things on autopilot. So, and especially if the material is evergreen, meaning that it can live forever, no matter when somebody listens or watches to it. So I put it on autopilot. So it's hands off, set it and forget it. I use a platform that most people don't know, only because it's very, very old, and I'm very loyal and I stuck with them. And it's a great platform. And I literally load it up once and it keeps going. So my shows and my videos and my blog posts, which have my shows in it, they continue to come out 2 or 3 a day on every single platform. So I'm constantly getting some eyeballs, which is really great. It's all about eyeballs.
and talk about eyeballs in Crystal Globe. So, Amy,
Yeah.
Talk about how that story, because I had a nice chat with your husband the other day. Yes, I'm always talking to the significant other on why he was your biggest cheerleader when you were having doubts on creating this. And because we all go through these things, and Karen can understand this nonstop, even Dustin. It's one of those things when you're creating things, not everybody sees your vision of what you want to happen. We can see it, and it's one of those things, but you got to put it out there. I know you had those spirits when you're like, why am I doing this? Who's going to care? Talk about that and why it was important to where you are right now.
Okay. Well, I've been developing the Bubble Huts brand and the tents now for 8 years. Actually, it'll be 8 years at the end of this month. And so I remember many times, 3 years into my journey of just pounding on the keyboard and designing and finding materials and even educating the world as to America to what glamping was. I remember like, why am I doing this? This is ridiculous. Because I wasn't seeing the immediate return. But my husband would always say, just keep doing it. I promise you it's going to pay off, And I mean, I can't tell you how many times I would go to bed at night and I was like, I quit. I'm never doing another bubble in my life. And I'd wake up the next morning and I'm doing more bubbles. So, I'm thankful for it. I mean, I'm finally starting to see some breakthrough for myself in the industry. I am a pioneer in the industry now. I'm a partner with Airbnb now. As far as getting more of my bubbles on their platform. I've been in the Wall Street Journal now. So, I mean, I'm starting to see the incremental, the fruit from what I have done for those 8 years.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's very
good. So, Dustin, and I'm talking to the screen even though she's next to me because she looks beautiful. I can see you. All right, talk about this. A girl from Omaha, Nebraska. Did you know you were going to be doing all of these things like this? Because when I first saw her, again, I saw her singing. I'm like, this girl's got a beautiful voice. How did I know about it? And then the guy next to us was more like that creator, that pushing that out there. There's always that guy. So for us, I'm not a married guy, but the guys are pushing the women out there. So this is why it's the women's show. Right, Terry?
Yes.
So it's one of those things where we have to help to support each other. So that's why I wanted everybody on. Talk about this finally walking a runway in Paris.
Yes. Oh, my dream finally, my ultimate dream came true. I didn't even know that it was, to tell you the truth, until it became a possibility. But I started young. My mother is a great supporter of the arts. And so she would take me to the theater when I was young. My first play was 5. And Marlon Brando's mother created it. And the Fondas are part of it. And I saw these kids on stage. It was The King and I. And it was just always great colors and exotic place. And I was like, how'd those kids get up there? And she's like, I think they auditioned. And she wasn't a stage mom. I showed up for an audition, and like everybody else had an accompaniment or cassette tape. That's how long ago it was. And I just did some acapellas, Disney songs, Zippity Doodah or something. And it worked. I got in, and they from there had been progressing, and the journey then led me out to Los Angeles, and I got this opportunity to do runway in Paris. And we had never been on our honeymoon. We'd just been so busy, and we've been married for like 7 years. And I thought, let's do it. You're supposed to go to Paris with the one you love. And my mother, she had helped make it happen too. And so she, supported me on the beginning and also on the end. And I was so grateful for it, and be able to kind of give these beautiful images, because it really was these, it looked like a fantasy, like a Cinderella dream come true. And it was so much fun. I want to go back. It was magical.
Dress.
Yeah, isn't it great?
It's a pretty dress.
They call that move the tornado. It's you have to kind of learn how to dance in those certain fabrics and how they catch the air, and so it's kind of a nice fusion of dance and fashion. And
that's cool.
There's also, I've noticed too that the music and runway are very similar, because it's like when you come out, you feel the song, and there's almost like the character in the outfit that they give you. And I think that's when I ended up modeling for 7 designers in Paris, because I think they just sensed that there was something that had been built up for so long, over years, that was just like, knew how to make these beautiful pieces of art sing and be able to come to life, the most they could possibly do so.
So Karen, you
similar.
understand this. It's one of those things where, okay, so you were just on, or you did something for NCIS. Talk about that real quick. And then Karen, I know you're going to ask something.
No.
So for NCIS, it was so funny. They showed up, they had me, it was a different language. And it was on the spot that it became a different language. It was initially it was English. And then also I was like, well, okay, I am part Czech. I will speak some Czech that I heard from my grandpa. And so I just kind of it's very improv, and it worked out really well. I got it, and it ended up being I ended up learning Albanian for that role. So
Wow.
Put in the skill set. And then it's funny enough, I was at a fashion show backstage, and the designer was Albanian. So she was really impressed, and she put me in the show because I was able to speak her language.
Love it. That's a great story.
Yeah.
So Karen, you were going to ask something. I knew you were.
So, you're obviously multi-talented. You do a lot of things. You're a singer. You walk runway. You're an actress. Have you ever, if you had to pick one, what would it be?
I would probably say storytelling does come in its variant forms.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I did start off with acting, I think that's probably the most, I would say, way you can do the art form until your last day. And whereas I think, although to tell you the truth, that landscape has changed. With the modeling, I feel like there's been this a great wall and glass ceiling's been broken. We're now seeing representation of girls beyond the age of 20 and beyond that. And it's wonderful because it turns out you don't die and you still need to be clothed even after you're in your 30s. And it's very. There's something exciting. I think it's the best message we can give to women about feeling about ourselves, and also for young women and young girls, that they know that they have value and they are worth seeing. And by the time you get, as you get older, you actually have more money to spend on fashion. So you really should be.
That's so true.
I feel like in a way I have been able to tell that story, and it's made women that when back home they're really proud and great. Like we put baby in the corner just because she's not 12. It's actually very empowering. So I think it did start off as acting, but the great thing too is I'm finding the modeling and now actually the music, that it is something that does transcend time, and we're being able to tell it. And I find that as long as you're able to kind of tell these stories that connect us, that is, I think, the route that is, as long as people want to hear them, I will tell them.
I love that answer. The fact that you said it's about the stories, because it really is about the stories. It's how you choose to deliver it in any particular moment. That is a great answer. Gosh, you need to come on the show. You need to come on my show.
All right, done.
Well, I kind of was whispering in the ear about you, Karen, already. So I was glad that you guys connected on social media.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about social media at that point, isn't it, Karen?
No, absolutely. And Amy, I was thinking you need to come on my Uncorked show because we all glamp. We do not camp. We glamp.
Yeah, right.
And I think we could do a whole show around that. I think that would be awesome. So we'll have to talk offline.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
And Terri, you were going to say something.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, she was saying that, the world has changed for women and all that. I mean, being a fitness competitor and being over 50, I mean, like, I just, it's very empowering to me to have that message that it doesn't matter how old you are. You can get on stage, you can be fit, you can still be a diva, you can still be glamorous. It's not over. So that's so and true. Brian knows that's my message. And like 2022, I'm getting back on stage. And also, it's kind of, I think, because I've done modeling too. I mean, I've done fitness modeling, not runway, but there's still some, like, fitness and modeling have a lot to do with, being on stage and wearing the glamorous bikinis and things that we do. So I can relate to a lot of the things that you had said about that. So
You look amazing.
Kind of want.
And it's so yeah, it's great. You know, you're also like, you know, educating people about health, you know, along with your glam, and so it's just it's like you know, it's so important to.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of thing with anti-aging is your diet, staying active. And there's so many important things that you can do. I mean, of course, you know, everybody wants to do like little nips and tucks or whatever, but your diet is key to your health and your energy levels. And I mean, that's like my message is, you know, it's just having a healthy diet, healthy lifestyle. And also, you know, you're going to be like, you can drink wine, you can have your cheat meals, you can live your life. It's about balance. And a lot of people don't know how to live that balance, and after this pandemic people kind of forgot, you know what I mean? So I kind of, my goal this year, and I've told Brian, is to try to, like, I don't know, talk about how to get back into being healthy and have a healthy mindset, even with, you know, the coronavirus is not going away, but we still have to, you know, march on.
All right, so Terri and Roxy, if you could find this from Vince Bonanno, that box set. So Terri, talk about caviar and diamonds, because Caren, you're going to get one. Amy, you're going to get one when you come February 10th. Dustin's going to get one. So Terri, you know what it tastes like. You know what it's like on your skin, right? Talk about it.
You don't taste it.
Hey, I made a mistake. I'm a guy. I tasted it.
No, actually, the caviar and diamonds it's a full set of eye cream, toner, and it's a night cream and a day cream. The cream is awesome because it does tighten up your skin. It makes your skin feel amazing. It does add moisture and hydration to your skin. So I've been using it every night as my routine, and I can tell you, I can tell a difference. I get mostly not because I have dry skin naturally, so it's really helping my skin retain more moisture. Which I don't know if that's something that happens when you get older or what, but I'm noticing that my skin is a lot healthier. So there's the complete set right there.
So that's valued at $1,600. So you all are getting a gift from us and Vincent Spinano. And so Vince, in case people don't know, he's creating the Judy Garland estate. So Liza won't be there for this, but you guys are also going to be invited June 10th to his unrolling. Judy would have been 100 years old at that point. So that's going to be done at the old place where it's like 2 blocks past, so back of where we're staying, in Hollywood. So I look forward to giving you young ladies this box set because everybody wants this, Terri.
Yeah, it's great. I ran out of the capsules. The capsules are awesome. They're just little capsules, and you just put them on your skin before you put your makeup on, and it makes your makeup glow.
Wow.
So. And
then we go over to Dustin with the makeup, and we're gonna have the whole thing going on.
Perfect. Yeah, that's
Stair Cosmetics.
So yes, that's actually, it's a great segue. So Stair Cosmetics is this beautiful line by this woman that created it. It's vegan, and it's also cruelty free, so they don't test on animals. And it's made with like essential oils and herbs that are anti-inflammatory, like rosemary, natural things. The idea is that, if you can eat it, it's probably okay to put on your face. And the product.
See, Terri, that's why
It's true. And, what I noticed is like with her pigments and whatnot, they make my skin feel good. Like I'm still going through puberty in my skin. Usually I will feel prone to breakouts, but hers really does kind of calm it and does give it a nice glow. And I think it's just the quality of the ingredients, and because the owner and it's not from a corporation, right? It's like there's a conscience involved. And the glosses are so pretty. Like, even if you're someone who doesn't like do a whole set of makeup, but you just want like a little holiday shimmer, it gets you in the spirit, and it's very pretty on. And I gotta tell you, this is he became my photographer during the lockdown. So I had to get good at doing my own makeup, and so he would be like, "Oh no, do this," and he can attest that this makeup is great. And I've even accidentally dropped it before, and it stays together, which means it's not like bad packaging either. It's not cheap, and it's just I would never talk about something unless I felt good about them, and I feel very good about Stair.
So as Terry knows, we found Delane and Sarah at Celebrity Connected in 2018. So I had her on the show. And I really liked her because she's in Santa Barbara. She's small business, but I love the product. And I even tried just on the foundation for when I was doing TV interviews for stuff. And I even liked it. And it's really, really good. So Terry, you remember the Delane too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have the makeup. I love it. I mean, that's like another thing that I try to use products that don't have a lot of chemicals in it. I'm allergic to everything. So if I use anything with like that, I mean, I like it's mineral based, isn't it? If I can remember.
It's got some minerals, some essential oils, and some herbs. A lot of like natural products.
That's not so harsh.
Yeah, not like these like awful chemicals. Like there are products in, I don't want to badmouth, but there are major professional skincare line. There's a professional makeup line, like as if it's called a pro line, but they're a commercial one. And there's an ingredient in there, in the base, in the foundation, that you use to take off paint. It's a paint thinner. So this was years ago, and I would put it on, like you can get it anywhere at the mall, online. It's a very major brand. And I would put it on and I would get more acne. And it's because you're putting paint thinner on already, upset skin. So it just became this awful,
That's what I was saying before. Your skin is your largest organ of your body and absorbs everything. And people don't really realize the toxic chemicals that are in a lot of products, and a lot of that stuff, like if you're trying to lose weight, even affects that. I mean, it's crazy. Like it affects your hormones, it affects everything. And the older you get, the more careful I am on what I put into my body. I mean, sometimes people think I'm nuts when I talk about this, but seriously, it's like everything you put on your skin, it is absorbed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. 100%.
So now we get to the men, not me. So it's one of these things where I saw him. We were at the Siwang event when it was an official, unofficial party. We couldn't bring a guest or anything like that. But Dustin was walking around with a bunch of other beautiful models, and they had these big, huge things on it. Amy's great thing that your huts are tall because they have these huge hats, like 12 feet tall, that he's always wearing, always. And the good thing is that we can get it in the huts, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, we can get you in the hut.
He was in the corner, and I was watching him from afar. I was next to Billy Zane, and like he was directing, and I loved how he was directing. I go, that's a good man. That's a great guy to have, and just that support system. And that's why I like this couple. And it's the first time that we had a chance to meet outside an event.
Can you believe we found love in LA?
It took a long time. But we finally did. So a little bit of information. I studied architecture, and I studied in architecture you study all kinds of media, and in older days especially, you had to do a lot of painting, watercolor, pencil, all kinds of stuff. So I have an eye for design and color and just lines and everything. And kind of makeup on a girl is almost the same thing. You look at a face and something will tell us, this doesn't look good. And, or this, it's not because I'm a makeup artist. I just look at it from my perspective.
Right.
And the other thing that I think Terry was saying about what you put in your body, and it's all about diet. And a lot of people ask me, it's like, well, what do you do? Do you do plastic surgery? Do you do this? Do you do this? Because I'm much older than all of you guys.
I don't think so.
And it is about diet. I really believe it. It's about what you eat, what you put in your stomach. It's that is the number one thing in life. Everything else is secondary.
I just want to add something. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but before I forget this thought that, when we're competing and I go on a prep diet, 80% of my competition is my diet.
Yes.
It's crazy because, I can't eat that way all year long. It's too hard. But I'm just saying, like, our diet is so strict and it comes down to a science, and Bryant knows this because of all our fitness people. We count every macro we count everything that goes into our body. It's like a science project, but that's just the way it is. But I feel a lot healthier when I cut out dairy and gluten. And I mean, it's people just don't realize how much their health can change by just eating more greens, eating more vegetables, and it's crazy. But anyway, I just wanted to add that.
Well, it's funny. I was talking to him when they walked in. I'm like, you haven't aged. I'm like, I have more gray hair than he does. And I'm like, how is that not working? And obviously he went into that, and it makes sense. It's exactly what Terri was saying, because you ever see someone on the fitness side who hasn't eaten? Oh my God! You talk about grumpy and everything like that. Forget about it. And Caren, you look really good. I meant to tell you a couple times today.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
You're on the trend.
Terri,
Yeah.
I wanted to say something, Terri. You talked about anti-aging. I would like to shift that to pro-aging. As Cindy Joseph says, she said she passed away, unfortunately, from Boom Cosmetics. How can we be anti-aging? If we're anti-aging, we're dead. And so she literally flipped it to pro-aging, that we are, and you guys are right, the whole movement, seen it shift. We had somebody on my show, Kate Bell. She's 52 years old. She was modeling when she was 20 and 30, and she got into yoga, and then she came back into modeling, and she is doing extensive modeling everywhere at 52, and she's just one of many at this point. So I just think that there's nothing we can't do. And Brian heard me say this, just watch me. That's kind of what I want to say when people say, well, you're this age or you're that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't wear that, you should look like that. And I just want to slap them, because it has nothing to do with age.
Exactly.
Right? It has to show up.
Caren, I'm going to tell you, like, I'm actually 53. So
I'm 65.
I'm 51.
There you go.
What's the
50? But I used to like not want people to know how old I am because I don't look my age. But I don't care anymore. I was like, this is who I am. And like, I'm proud of it now because, I look a certain way because I take care of myself.
Right.
And I can still get on stage. I mean, I won my first fitness competition at the age of 46 at Muscle Beach against a bunch of 22-year-olds. Wow. So that was like the best feeling. I won first place and I'm like, I did it.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, and like, it's just, I know that, you can keep your figure up. I mean, I don't know. It's just all about mindset and what you want to do and how you, does that make any sense? So you're right. It's pro aging, but I want to stay as healthy and as youthful as long as I can. So, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No. Oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly.
I have to say, even, I turned 51 today, and my son is 27. Yeah, so I have a 27-year-old son.
Wow.
And he was like, Mom, I can't believe you're 51. And I told him, I said, well, it's about your attitude.
Yeah.
I said, I don't feel that.
Right.
It's just a number. I don't have to be what people or society says I have to be at this age. I can be who I truly am inside. And so I'm just trying to tell him, because, he'll be like, I'm getting old. And I'm like, you're 27. Don't say that. It's like, it's a number. And it's so true. I think, for women, especially, or for myself, I know, it's like you're told you have to stay beautiful and you have to be this.
Yeah.
But I think, it comes from within us. That's where our beauty comes from, So I say more power to us women in our 50s. Come on,
Well, what I was going to add to that, back to the fitness thing, is that, like, maybe 20 years ago, people would go, oh, well, you got 50, you're too old to get on stage. You're too old to, like, run around in a bikini. No, look at Salma Hayek. Look at, like, J-Lo. Like, I mean, It's like women in their 50s are empowered now. And to me, it's like, I love doing that stuff. I mean, Brian knows I'm a peacock. I love to get glammed up. I love to be on stage, and that's just my personality. And I will probably be doing fitness competitions into my 90s if I can. And there's women out there doing it. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
And people are modeling, like people are doing runway older now too. You see older models, like you had mentioned before. Yeah. So I think the world is changing, and I don't think age is as big of a deal as it used to be. Which is a good thing that I'm seeing.
Right.
Absolutely. I think I said last time on the show, I grew my gray hair out on camera.
Yeah.
Really? On camera.
Wow.
And it looks beautiful. And it's actually, it's so on trend. I was just telling Brian, like, gray hair is sexy.
Yeah.
It's going natural. They said, Keanu Reeves' girlfriend.
Yes.
She went all platinum. And she said, do whatever you want. There's so many options. but there actually is a link to, especially for women of color, with hair coloring, it can be linked to brain cancer. So it's sometimes you're like, you know what? Why not just let nature kind of give you, its own highlights, and why, go, like, and make yourself even have to go through more trouble and hurt yourself in the process. So it's very in. I noticed a lot more people, and I mean, I've been wearing my hair natural, like texture, and I noticed that in Paris, people were very natural out there. I didn't see. It was different than LA. I love LA, but they were much more. They aged naturally, and it looked actually fresh, and they looked happy because they're having to like fight all the time.
No, I think I totally think that we are pushing forward. The Pandora's box has opened. It's not going. You can't shut it anymore. We're out. We're proud. And we're going to keep on going because age is simply just a number. I mean, it's why I jumped into Vitalcy, because it's not about what that number is. It's about what your next is. It's about the peak stage. It's not, you don't get to the peak stage and just fall off the cliff. You don't do that. You keep going and going and going. And, there are a lot of people out there to look up to that are doing it. And you just have to get the strength to do it. I don't think I'm certainly not telling people you have to let your hair go gray. Right. That is not the message at all. You have to do what makes you happy, not what media tells you, not what your husband tells you, not what your mother. My mother was the only one who hated this, and she was white at 30. She went white at 30, which is why I started coloring my hair at 30, because back in those days, if you had white hair, you wouldn't get a job. I mean, that was basically what it is. And so because of her, 2 weeks, I would color this. And the same, it's not healthy. It's not healthy, the chemicals we're putting on her. So best thing I ever did. I wish I'd done it sooner.
This is how long the pandemic has been. I've got a calendar. It's the... that is beginning. Or no, this is beginning. Okay, right about you. On the vaccine. Okay, and
that's awesome. Oh my God.
Hey, talk about this. I always acknowledge that, first of all, besides you being a founder and a CEO, I always mention you as an inventor person. I think that's really important. Talk about that door that you made for your daughter.
Okay.
Why that was important.
Okay. Well, during the pandemic, my daughter was 19 last year, 2020, and she got COVID, and my daughter almost died. She was hospitalized in intensive care for 8 days. What actually saved her life was that antibody treatment. But anyways, when my husband and I brought her home from the hospital, they didn't have any answers for anything for anyone. And they were like, okay, roll the window down. No big deal. My husband's 57 too, and we're like, okay, this could be a risk. And so I said, but as a mom, they're like, put her in her room, shut the door, leave her alone. And I said, well, I just can't do that. I mean, it was heartbreaking to leave my daughter at the curb of the hospital and then to have her come home and still ignore her and shut her out. I couldn't bear thinking of doing that. So I took some material. We were driving home and I saw this vision in my head, which it sounds weird to some, but I saw a door shield made out of the same material as my tents. And I told my husband, I said, why don't we hang up and create this door shield I can put on the door to help isolate her, where I can still see her pets could see her, and I can distribute medication, give her food and all of those things, but it's not shutting her out, because the emotional strain, not only on the patient, but on the family members going through this whole thing was horrific. And I just wanted to alleviate that for my daughter and for myself. So I created a door shield, and I was syndicated all across the country with this product. And didn't have a feasibility study, on the scientific with it, but my husband and I never got sick. I offered it to the world. Wow. And so I tried to help. I tried to do my part. And I was also, I don't know if Brian knows this or not, but another thing I did do too, I pivoted temporarily in my company during the pandemic because I had no sales for 8 months, because obviously people were no longer glamping and there were no longer events happening, because that's another side of my company. And so I made 10,000 face shields for the Maricopa County Health Department in 10 days. My company.
Wow.
Oh, jeez. That's incredible.
to help out.
And you kept your company together, your employees, and your tents are made in the USA.
Yeah, we make them here in Arizona. Everything is made here. Blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, I go down there. I inspect every single one of them before I ship them out.
Wow.
All right. So, Amy, what do you want to happen between now and the first quarter? Because I got some surprises for you next year.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Well, I'm open to the limitless possibility that I'm open to everything and anything that the universe has for me, God, whatever you want to call it. But I'm also, I don't know if I shared this with you, Brian, or not, but I'm also creating another business right now. So I'm looking.
Of course you are.
So I'm looking to work with private landowners that would love to have one of my bubbles on their property to earn extra income, to be able to have the freedom, the financial, financial freedom, time with their families, whatever, but a way that I can give them to make some money. And I would work with them to set them up for success within their own little micro business with the products. So that's my goal, is really to launch this company. I want to have it launched by the spring of this year.
And see, Terry, that's why I said I needed 10 of these on our property. Because I was pumping the gun before she created it, but she had it in her mind. I wanted to do the same thing. And also, my surprise for you, Amy, was meeting Caren. And I wanted to meet Dustin because I wanted to get everybody together for February 10th.
That's
even
awesome.
that tall hat, whether she brings it or not,
I think it'd be awesome.
All right, Caren, between now and the first quarter, because you got a lot of stuff going on too. I'm glad you guys are hooked up together. And I was whispering in Amy's ear, I'm like, I think Caren will have you on the show. The same thing with Dustin, because I like Karen's show.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do it, but we'll do it after the first of the year. We're winding. I'm in production right now, but we'll definitely do it after the first of the year. Brian or whomever, make sure my email gets to everybody, and we'll set up a time and we'll get to know each other, and we'll figure out what kind of show we want to do, because we'll tailor it to you.
Awesome.
So,
and your social media links, Caren.
Everything's at Caren Glasser. I made it simple because I forget.
Go ahead, Terry.
Oh, Terri Marie Nonstop. That's how simple that is. And then my website is terrimarieofficial.com.
And then the married couple to my left, or face camera to the right, whatever way you're looking at us. Go ahead.
At Dustin Quick on Facebook and Instagram, and
Medi M on Facebook and Medi.em on Instagram. And my music is available on Spotify and Apple Music, and most websites that offer music.
And we'll invite you to our next music video premiere. Now that the city is starting to open up again, we're starting to have those red carpets. We'd love to have you all there.
When is
we gotta
that?
say hi to Roberto, because Roberto chimed in. He's one of our few male hosts. Hey, Roberto, it's good seeing you. International best-selling author through Hasmark. So I love that. So I got to thank everybody for coming on. Caren, thank you for being you. And I obviously, I love your hair. Don't you dare change it. Amy, I love you as that inventor. Terry, I don't care about you. No, I'm only kidding. Dustin,
thanks, Brian.
and everybody else, and even Roxy. Can't do this without Roxy.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to thank everybody for this. And as I always say, have a good night tonight, a better day tomorrow. And if you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours, because the world needs it. This is Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Brian.